Have you ever sat down at a restaurant, ordered a plate of nachos, and wondered, why do we even call it that? It's such a fun word. Short, punchy, and instantly mouth-watering. But like many popular foods, nachos have a surprisingly rich history. It's a story that mixes creativity, culture, and even a little accident. So today, let's uncover, why is it called nachos? We're going to peel back the layers of cheese, jalapenos, and chips and find out why exactly this beloved dish is called nachos. Let's get into it, right here, on History of Simple Things. The first thing you need to know is that nachos are named after a person. Yes, that's right, not an ancient Aztec word, not a slang term for cheese chips, but an actual person. His name was Ignacio Anaya. Ignacio was a Mexican maitre d' in a small border town called Piedras Negras, just across from Eagle Pass, Texas. He lived in the 1940s, and little did he know he would invent a dish that would spread across the world. Now in Spanish, Ignacio has a common nickname, Nacho. Much like Bob is short for Robert or Bill for William, Nacho is simply a friendly version of Ignacio. So when we say nachos, we're essentially eating Ignacio's creation. The actual story of how nachos were created is almost cinematic. In 1943, a group of U.S. military wives crossed the border into Piedras Negras for a little shopping trip. Afterward, they wanted something to eat. The problem? It was late and most restaurants were closed. They ended up at the Victory Club, where Ignacio Anaya worked as maitre d'. Instead of turning the hungry visitors away, Ignacio decided to improvise. He ran into the kitchen, grabbed what was left, some fried tortilla pieces, a bit of shredded cheese, and sliced pickled jalapenos. He quickly arranged the tortillas on a plate, sprinkled cheese over them, heated it all up until it melted, and topped it with the peppers. When he served it, the women loved it. And just like that, nachos were born. Not in a professional chef's kitchen, not from a cookbook, but out of creativity and kindness in the moment. When the women asked what this delicious new snack was called, Ignacio simply said, Nachos especiales. In English, that translates to Nachos special. Over time, the phrase was shortened and anglicized. Nachos specials became just nachos, and the name stuck. It's fascinating to think that one person's nickname turned into the permanent label for a dish enjoyed by millions worldwide. Imagine if he'd been called Pepe or Chi. We might be sitting here eating a plate of Pepes or Chuys instead of nachos. The dish didn't just stay in Piedras Negras. Thanks to its proximity to the Texas border, nachos quickly caught the attention of Americans. By the late 1940s and early 1950s, Texas restaurants began adding nachos to their menus. It was cheap, simple, and delicious, the perfect bar food or appetizer. Word spread, and soon nachos began popping up at more restaurants, especially in the southwestern United States. But the real boost came a few decades later when nachos found their place in stadiums. In the 1970s, nachos experienced a second wave of popularity, this time on a massive scale. A man named Frank Liberto, who ran a concession company in Texas, had an idea. Why not sell nachos at sporting events? But he needed a version that was quick and easy to prepare. So he came up with the idea of using a processed cheese sauce instead of shredded cheese. It didn't need to be melted in an oven. It could just be pumped out of a machine and poured right onto tortilla chips. This stadium nacho was a hit. In 1976, nachos were first sold at a Texas Rangers baseball game, and by the next year, they were everywhere. That's when sports announcer Howard Cosell helped make nachos a household name. He loved mentioning them during broadcasts, and his enthusiastic shout-outs turned nachos into a nationwide phenomenon. One question that often comes up is, are nachos just a variation of chilaquiles? Chilaquiles are a traditional Mexican dish made with fried tortilla pieces simmered in salsa and topped with cheese, onions, and sometimes eggs or chicken. They've been around for centuries. At first glance, they do look a little similar. Both use fried tortillas and cheese. But the difference lies in preparation and purpose. Chilaquiles are a hearty, sit-down meal often eaten for breakfast. Nachos, on the other hand, were designed as a quick appetizer or snack. Nachos also emphasize layering and finger food style eating, while chilaquiles are softer and eaten with a fork. So while nachos may have drawn inspiration from existing Mexican dishes, they really are their own invention, born out of Ignacio's spur-of-the-moment creativity. Food names often evolve, but nachos is remarkably simple and memorable. It's short, easy to say in multiple languages, and it sounds fun. Imagine going to a restaurant and ordering Ignacio's special tortilla chips with melted cheese and jalapenos. Way too long, right? Nachos just works. And because it was catchy, English speakers didn't try to change it or replace it with something else. Think about it. Many Mexican dishes were renamed or anglicized in the US, for example. Fajitas were marketed as sizzling steak wraps for a while, and tacos were once described on menus as Mexican sandwiches. But nachos? They were nachos from day one. So, why is it called nachos? Because of Ignacio Nacho Anaya, the man who threw together tortilla chips, cheese, and jalapenos to create a snack that would travel the globe. His nickname, Nacho, became the name of the dish, turning a simple act of improvisation into a permanent part of food history. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.